How do you think things have gone so far with the transition from spring 8-week cycle to now with the wide receivers?
Yeah, I've noticed a big difference with the guys' knowledge of the game and the confidence and the alignments and the techniques that we need on each play within Petrino's concept and what Coach Pittman wants us to do with our splits and our alignments. And really seeing the knowledge of the offense growing with these guys and the leaders and the older guys really pushing each other to learn the playbook. They're studying together, and it's really shown up in the start of camp of how advanced they are in the offense. So we don't have to revisit a bunch of old things as we're more so moving on to different installs now, and then we're going to taper back and review everything and just get good at what we're good at. So
on specific player, Tyrone Broden. Tyrone only had 15 catches last year, averaged like 8 yards a catch. 6'7", one of the 5 fastest guys on your team, can make ridiculous one-handed catches. Like, what's this guy's ceiling?
Sky's the limit for him. The best thing about him is how hard he works at learning the offense. He's a leader, and he just picks up the offense very quickly. And his position, he has to move around a lot in the alignments of inside, outside, maybe number 3 in the slot. And he's done a great job of picking up the concepts, because you could be number 1 in the concept or number 2 or number 3 in the 3-man concept, and he knows all those positions, which helps him play that position he's at Z, because he has to move around a lot. But he's been so impressed with just his work ethic and his footwork for his size and his hands. Obviously, with his height, he can high point the ball way up there above the backboard. But he's just done a great job of working. I mean, this is a different year for him. We're asking him to start, at the outside, and he's taking that role and leadership role and really working harder, because this is going to be a different year for him.
Is there anything like an area where you've identified that you'd want him to focus in on and maybe improve?
Just his pad level. For a taller guy like that, you're always coaching pad level, and just getting his pads down on his releases and stuff like that. He's so tall, he's got to get hit a lot lower than other guys to get off a jam corner and just release things. But I'm really just trying to motivate him, because like you said, he only had 15 or so catches last year, and I'm trying to motivate him to, hey, this is going to be a different year for you. You're going to have a bigger workload. So every day in camp, you got to keep progressing and taking care of your body.
I was just looking, you returned every catch made by a wideout last year, which is pretty uncommon.
Mhm.
Can you feel that? Like, it feels like more of a veteran group?
Yeah, you can feel that, and you can feel the urgency, like I said, that they've learned the offense all summer together, and you just feel that they're together and the leadership in the room, just with the veteran guys, helps speed up the young guys' process, because they don't have time. The older guys are bringing them along, and we like to stick, how one goes, we all go. So we're on the young guys to learn it and jump in there and do their responsibilities. And like you said, I mean, the veteran leadership has really helped me walk into that room and just feel comfortable. Hey, these guys are hungry. They want to be coached. And that's what I'm here to do, is just coach them as hard as I can, motivate them, and try and have a better year than they've ever had.
I don't want to mischaracterize what happened today, but the media viewing window, we saw some miscommunications, quarterbacks and receivers, and I'm wondering what the bounce back looked like after we left.
Right. So that's normal in camp. We're on, day 5. So we have 7 installs in our offense, which is, more than we did in spring ball. So it's some newer stuff going in. And then, like I said, we're going to taper back, get back to what we thought is efficient. But some of the stuff we have to get in just for later on in the season, we might have to pull it out versus a different scheme and stuff like that. But there was a lot of motions and shifts today, and little miscommunications on some stuff. But we're progressing pretty fast with these guys. Petrino and Coach Pittman like to speed up the install so that it makes them learn it faster, and then we taper back and get good at everything. So,
what can you say on Andrew today?
Andrew, can't comment too much on his health, but Andrew's done a great job leading the room. I mean, he's the alpha dog in the room. He breaks us down every day when we're done with our meetings, and really holds everybody accountable. And I just love his work ethic. Him and Broden and Isaiah are leading from the front, man. They outwork everybody every day. They try to. Tesla's right there pushing them every day. I mean, Jaden Wilson, we got a lot of veteran leadership, like you said, and they're all pushing each other.
What are some ways that being around him now for a couple of years, that a Bobby Petrino offense can maximize the wide receiver room?
It's a beautiful thing, because we have a bunch of different personnel combinations. So what I try and motivate the room is, hey, all you guys can play. You show your talents on the field, and we'll create a personnel package for you. You've seen that in the past with different offenses he's had, and moving guys around. Maybe get a freshman in there with a personnel so that they have a small package to learn, and then they can master the rest of the offense. Is kind of what we do with younger guys. You show talent, you show you're tough, you want to play. we'll get a package for you and get you on the field.
As far as some of the guys like CJ and Jaden Wilson, are those two guys that can play both in the slot and outside? I mean, what do you see for and I guess Tesla too? Those guys, how can they be those versatile receivers that stepped in?
Very versatile. They all three of those guys play inside and outside. You know, Tesla was more outside last year. We're asking him to play more in the slot now, which he's done a great job. We feel like it fits his skill set. He's big, he's strong, and he can catch, you know, those passes in traffic. He's got really good eyes with that. And, you know, Jaden played a lot more slot last year. He's playing a little more outside. We feel like his stride, his foot quickness helps him get off press. And he's, you know, both those guys are smart enough with enough experience that we can move them around. And CJ, with his position, is kind of like Broden's, where he has to move around a lot inside and outside, and he's really good in the slot on, you know, some option routes and stuff like that.
Ronnie, how's Monty Harrison doing?
Monte's been impressive. You know, I was unsure coming from baseball how in shape he would be, how he'd handle, you know, a full practice, and he's done a great job. He's strong, he's physical, he's still learning releases and stuff like that, a little raw on some technical things, but he's progressed every day of camp and developed those techniques that he's missed out on for a couple years. But he has the natural talent, the burst, the strength, and the strong hands.
I should look this up. Do you mind if I ask you how old you are?
I'm 35.
Okay, so you're only 6 years older than Monty's fixing to be.
Yep.
Do you coach a guy that's older like that any different? Or I guess have you ever coached an older guy like him?
I have. I coached in a professional league, and there was some quarterbacks that were near my age. And you know, at the end of the day, everybody just wants the knowledge. They want to be coached. And coming from baseball, he's eager to learn more and more about football, being away from it so long. And there's just a different level of maturity. You know, he's played in the professional league, so he acts like a pro. You know, he takes care of his body. He studies, he takes notes. So it's great for the young guys to learn from him on how to be a pro.
Is he a guy that could realistically figure into the rotation, or does he maybe pretty rusty, or how do you see that?
Realistically, I think he can. I mean, he's flashed throughout camp in these first couple days, and he's definitely wowed us on a couple plays. I mean, he can go up and high point the ball. He's so strong. He can play through contact from a defender and really use his power in the run game as well. I'm trying to motivate him to do more. Use his size, use his power in all facets of the game.
Coach, what have y'all seen from Joffrey Brown so far? Kind of what does he need to do to crack the rotation himself?
Right. Joffrey had a little slight injury throughout the summertime that he's recovering from. I can't comment too much on that, but we're working him back in, and he's shown a lot of speed. I mean, he's made a couple plays earlier in camp that impressed us, and now we're just trying to get him back on track. But I'm impressed with his speed, his knowledge of the game. You know, he's a veteran guy that's played some football. And he has a great ability to play inside and outside. So I think that'll help us with the rotations and moving people around.
And also your two young guys you added this summer, Cross Johnson and Zach Taylor. What have your impressions been of them so far?
Both are fast. They're both very fast, and they've done a good job picking up the playbook. Haven't been trying to put too much on their plate and just focus on your position, learn every day. And now it's just going out there and being confident. You know, they're freshmen in the SEC at their first camp. You know what I mean? So just the confidence is what I'm trying to motivate them. Like, hey, you're here for a reason. Go compete with these guys. You know what I mean? You're not a freshman anymore. We wanted you here. Go make plays. And they've done that. They've both shown the talent, and we're happy that we got them here.
We know about Jordan Anthony's speed, but just what other tools does he have that you like?
What I look, you know, Jordan does have speed, but I've been impressed with his toughness. You know, most track guys, you're worried about, okay, how can they take a hit, right? Can he learn the offense? Does he love football? And all those boxes are checked with him. Very impressed with his ability to study the playbook and pick it up fast. I mean, he's a fast learner. He puts in time on his own. He'll watch film at the facility on his own, but his hands and his toughness have been the most impressive to me. You know, we know he's fast, but he can get out in and out of his breaks and make the tough catches.
You've talked a little bit about Isaiah already, but just what changes have you seen in him, and how do you feel like he's embracing this opportunity that he has?
Yeah, I've heard from people that have been here before, you know, and Isaiah, we just we gave, we wanted a fresh start. Hey, Isaiah, you're going to be the man. Attack this summer. And he attacked it every day and put on weight, added strength in the weight room. And he has a great day every day. I mean, there's never a day where I have to get on him about effort or jumping in there. I mean, he takes probably the most reps out of anybody and runs the most mileage out there. So he runs a lot out there, and he's really embraced the role of, hey, I'm going to get the ball and I'm going to go attack people. And that's what I love about him, is just his mindset right now is just, he's a warrior, he's tough, and he's going to bring it every day. I don't have to worry about Isaiah. He's going to show up to practice every day.
One of the critiques of last year's group was not creating enough space.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering what's your confidence level in there being better windows for the quarterback?
Right. I think technically, we've been working a lot on press release. We get a lot of man in this conference, and we've been working a lot of releases and giving them a tool belt of releases to use and mix things up. And just the offense, the system that we have in place is very detail oriented on their routes. So they have to get their depth. If they just cut their route short, it affects the whole play. So really, I think we'll get the separation we need if we just trust the details. We get our alignments corrected, we get our depths right, and we're going to have guys running wide open.
I know Bobby said in the spring one of the big advantages of bringing you and Colby was just helping out with install of the offense. How do you feel like that's gone?
I feel great, and especially having Colby here now too. There's somebody else in the room. We're bouncing off each other, and it just helps speed up the process in the room. We're helping other positions out. Hey, we noticed something personnel wise. Hey, you guys got to get in the game or line up here, and I think that helps, just having people that with the knowledge of the offense that can help out other positions with technical things or alignments and stuff like that.
You got 6 guys on the roster who are in their 4th, 5th, or 6th year at wide receiver who are scholarship guys. What's that like in this new world? I mean, I don't remember that many veteran players at one time at one position.
It's awesome, man. I mean, it feels like an NFL room. You get in there, you see veterans just lined up. They're all in the front row. All my seniors, older guys are in the front, 2nd row right there. They all have their notebooks out. We've talked about the NFL and how you have to learn the offense and go practice. You got a meeting and go practice, and you have to be able to execute those plays. And that's kind of how fall camp is right now with our installs. We have a meeting. We got to go rep these new plays that we just ran in the meeting. So just the level of confidence and urgency in the room to just better every day is what I'm impressed with the veteran guys.
You talked about Isaiah a little bit, but he hasn't had a whole lot of production. Very highly recruited guy. Looks like he's gotten a lot bigger also. But he looks, kind of like a prototypical slot receiver. A lot of speed. What is his ceiling? What is he going to be relied on to do this year?
A lot. I mean, he's going to have to move around a lot. He's going to have to motion. He's going to be carrying the ball, catching the ball, returner. But on offense, I mean, he's going to have the ability. We're going to move him inside, outside, 12 personnel, 10 personnel, 11 personnel. He's going to have a lot of different roles, and he understands that, been motivating him with that, and just understand, hey, this is a big year, man. So he's ready for it. And that's what I love about him, is just he's preparing every day, just outworking anybody in front of him to be ready to go.
We've heard a lot about
college football, EA Sports.
I've been a little busy with camp, but I tried it in the locker room, and offense looks pretty impressive. The receivers they gave them some good ratings on the game, and it's funny, the guys argue about it and stuff like that. But yeah, it's fun to hear the stories about the guys in the room playing against each other on the game.
If there's any benefit to that game with players messing around looking at coverages and stuff like that?
I think so. I mean, at times, if you're a football guy and you're, instead of watching TV, you're looking at the coverages on a video game, that could possibly help you more than watching TV. But I can't say whether it makes you a better football player or not. I mean, maybe if they had our offense on there, it would. But stuff like that, it's just good to get their mind off the grind.
Question, like I said.
Yeah, I understand.
Hey, Coach, we've heard a lot about Taylor Green's leadership. Just what have you seen from him coming in and, building chemistry with the receiver group and meshing with those guys?
It's been impressive, man. Quarterbacks obviously get talked about that all the time, but he's shown it day in and day out. And throughout the summer, just holding my guys in the room accountable, making sure they're out there on time and they're getting really close together. Their timing is better. It's shown up in camp, spring ball throughout the summer, and now at camp, just the timing is way better, and the guys are on the same page. They become closer as friends on and off the field, and it shows how closely that we are as an offense, all because the quarterback brings everybody together.
And then again, I know you touched on it a little bit, but we've heard about, Tyrone Broden's leap time and time again. Just what tools have allowed him to make that jump and put him in the position that he is this year?
I think just his confidence in his body. He had a great summer in the weight room, and he loves the offense. He loves the ability to move inside and outside and just utilize his strengths. We throw the ball, like to spread people out and mix in, run the ball downhill. And I think his ability to block, make plays in the slot, make plays outside has just motivated him to learn the offense as fast as he can and master the system so he can be out there in every situation and get the ball as much as he can.
Following up on Tyrone, was there like a big discrepancy between what you watched on film and then your first impressions of him live? Just because, like we said, not too productive of a year last year. I mean, what was kind of those first impressions film to seeing him in person?
Yeah, obviously you notice the size when I came here. I watched the film. You notice the size, his ability to high point the ball. But what I've been most impressed with as I've gotten to know him is, like I said, just his ability to pick up things fast. You can tell him something one time and he'll never forget it. You know what I mean? And that a lot of guys, maybe young freshmen, you're pounding in their heads, hey, this is what you have on this play. I tell him one time or change something on a play, and he'll never forget that. And that's what I've been most impressed with him is just picking up the offense and just his ability to win at the line of scrimmage. People are afraid of his speed, so he gets a little more cushion sometimes, but he still trusts the detail and getting in their technique and winning on routes.
Against the DBs like y'all do in drills or the fastballs or I was just curious what your take was on the DBs.
DBs are a very gritty group. I mean, every day when we go to one-on-ones, they're going to compete, and it's a challenge every day for us because, when you go against another defense every day in practice, they get a feel for your routes and certain types of things you like to do. But those guys are very intelligent. Braxton and Keelan Stewart have done a great job of sitting on certain things. They make our guys work. We got to get in a great stance. We can't show anything in our route or they're going to jump it. So we get challenged every day in practice, and those guys in the secondary have done a great job making us better every day.
I remember about Bobby the first time he was here, really precise routes. I mean, he'd stop practice if a guy was like an inch off or something. And then when he left, you could tell it fell off. That precision wasn't there the same way. I was wondering, working with him, kind of what's he like and in terms of the precise routes and how important that is.
Right. In his offense, we demand perfection because, like you said, the separation aspect, if we get those precise routes, we're going to get a lot more separation. We roll into our route or we cut it short, then there's, you're shortening the gap of the separation with the DB. So just the demand of the details in the offense never wavers because the moment you slip up, then you're not going to have that separation. You're not going to have the success on offense. So the minor details within the system are the highest priority, at the end of the day, every day. So when we install the offense, the stance, the start, the alignments, those are the most important things. And then you get to the plays and the depth of the routes.
Armstrong's coming off a really good year. We saw a lot of good things from him in spring. What can he get better at? What's his top end?
I think he's just got to keep continuing to get better. I mean, he's done a great job, like Broden, learn the offense and his ability to learn more and be able to move inside and outside. We got him at X right now. A lot of times he's a single receiver, and he's done a great job just dominating that. All right, he's one-on-one. We know it. Taylor knows. Coach Petrino knows he's going to Armstrong, and he's going to win on his route. So just the demand for himself to just expect that every time. Like, hey, every time I'm out there, I'm catching the ball, I'm getting my depth, and I'm winning every time. And just that's the mindset I'm challenging him to have, which he does anyways. But just be that alpha dog out there, win every time. Nobody can cover you.
You got a scrimmage tomorrow. What do you kind of know what number of plays that you're looking at, or what's going to format or anything?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday. I'm not sure how many we're gonna get in. We definitely have a lot of guys we need to see in that live action. I need to see a lot of young receivers and who can step up and fill those roles throughout the season. So it's gonna be a big scrimmage, big test for our room.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, guys.